The language I'm speaking right now is on its way to becoming the world's universal language, for better or for worse. Let's face it, it's the language of the internet, it's the language of finance, it's the language of air traffic control, of popular music, diplomacy. English is everywhere. Now, Mandarin Chinese is spoken by more people, but more Chinese people are learning English than English speakers are learning Chinese. Last I heard, there are 24 universities in China right now teaching all in English. English is taking over. And in addition to that, it's been predicted at the end of the century, almost all of the languages that exist now, there are about 6,000, will no longer be spoken. There will only some hundreds left. And on top of that, it's at the point where instant translation of live speech is not only possible, but it gets better every year. The reason I'm reciting those things to you is because I can tell that we are getting to the point where a question is going to start being asked, which is, why should we learn foreign languages other than if English happens to be foreign one? Why bother to learn another one when it's getting to the point where almost everybody in the world will be able to communicate in one? I think there are a lot of reasons, but I first wanted to address the one that you're probably most likely to have heard of, because actually it's more dangerous than you might think. And that is the idea that a language channels your thoughts, that the vocabulary and the grammar of different languages gives everybody a different kind of aesthetic, so to speak. That is a marvelously enticing idea, but it's kind of fraught. So, it's not that it's untrue completely. So, for example, in French and Spanish, the word for a table is for some reason marked as feminine. So, la tabla, la mesa, you just have to deal with it. It has been shown that if you are a speaker of one of those languages and you happen to be asked how you would imagine a table talking, then much more often that could possibly be an accident. A French or a Spanish speaker says that the table would talk with a high and feminine voice. So if you're French or Spanish, to you a table is kind of a girl, as opposed to if you are an English speaker. It's hard not to love data like that, and many people will tell you that that means there is a world view that you have if you speak one of those languages. But you have to watch out, because imagine if somebody put us under the microscope, thus being those of us who speak English natively. What is the world view from English? So for example, let's take an English speaker up on a screen. That is Bono. He speaks English. I presume he has a world view. Now, that is Donald Trump. In his way, he speaks English as well. And here is Miss Kardashian, and she's an English speaker too. So here are 3 speakers of the English language. What worldview do those 3 people have in common? What worldview is shaped through the English language that unites them? It's a highly fraught concept, and so gradual consensus is becoming that language can shape thought, but it tends to be in rather darling, obscure psychological flutters. It's not a matter of giving you a different pair of glasses on the world. Now, if that's the case, then why learn languages if it isn't going to change the way you think? That would the other reasons be? There are some. One of them is that if you want to imbibe a culture, if you wanted to drink it in, if you wanted to become part of it, then whether or not the language channels the culture, and that seems doubtful. If you want to imbibe the culture, you have to control to some degree the language that the culture happens to be conducted in. There is no other way. Or Languages have different word orders. Learning how to speak with different word order is like driving on the different side of the street. If you go to certain country, or the feeling that you get when you put witch hazel around your eyes and you feel the tingle, a language can do that to you. So I highly recommend that you teach yourself languages other than the one of that I'm speaking, because there has never been a better time to do it. It's an awful lot of fun. It won't change your mind, but it will most certainly blow your mind.